I'm going to talk about the public space, but sort of the things I'm going to explain is like not like much about energy, but it's more like the sort of the how to learn primitive, like how the primitive like the housing or like the architecture in Japan. Let me share the slide. Okay, so the title is the public realm inside the house. So sort of this is like the kind of our family project almost. We designed the houses, and also we organize and manage the houses, like the share houses around our neighborhood in Tokyo, called the area called Kagurazaka. And so first, like we learned, this is called the Shirakawa-go, the structure. Sort of, this is 300 years old, like the almost like a primitive share housing. So now, like I think it's kind of hard to like maintain, but by the time like the 30 or 40 people living inside of sort of one structure, then like 30, 40 could be like, 2 families or 3 families, and then they even have like the force on the first floor. So in terms of energy, it's nothing technological, but it's very efficient sort of co-living idea. And also even in Tokyo, actually like the Edo era, which is almost like 400 years ago. So this is the before the World War II or like the big earthquake. So we have like we could find the wooden structure everywhere. So also by the time like people like used to like live together, like people also like share like the bathroom or toilet or like the well. So they share everything. So let's say I think that sort of the currently like the share house is like getting popular, but also like in sort of culturally, like we have like the share how to say way of living. So so this is the house we designed almost like 8 years ago, and so it's not like 30, 40 people, but we have the 7 people living in this big box. And the facade is made out of membrane. And then like the entrance is the zipper. If you go inside, so we have like the 10-meter, the high ceiling. And sort of, we only have actually the membrane for facade, but this like the share like the high ceiling space sort of, how to say, work as a sort of the air layer, sort of insulation, sort of big insulation layer. So that's why, so each room has always the very like the comfortable the air condition space. This is the section. So basically in a one big box, we have like the 8 small boxes, and then they are kind of like floating each other. They're not touching each other. So we always sort of keep the gap in between box and box. So it's kind of like the how to say, the capsule house, but how to say, in terms of energy, it's much more efficient since we have like always the air in between these boxes. And then the first floor, which is more like the multifunctional space, my friend show the fashion collection, or sometimes we hold a talk event. So it's actually like work as in a public space. Sometimes like, the neighbors like just to come inside and they're like, having chill, these kind of things happen. So the public spaces is, the things we could make. That's our concept. And then we have the share bookshelf. So this is the living room. So the material wise, we always use the plywood or the polycarbonate, which is like kind of industrial material. But I don't know, by tweaking like all the proportion or like the detail. So even though these are like not expensive material, but the space quality is very like unique. And as I said, so we have always the gap in between. So we have like space here. So like this table actually can fit inside of the gap. And so the other project, so as I said, so we design like 3-4 the share housing around our neighborhood. So it's more like, making so commune, it is like not common thing in Tokyo currently. Like people always wants to have like separation, distance. But the things we want to do is, making some community out of share houses. But sometimes, the house is like too big, then it takes like 5-4 years for just designing. So we basically had just empty land, but we want to use it. So then like we decided to design the small trailer house first. So we just sort of the same sort of material wise, it's similar, the plywood, it's not expensive, but we just like designed one car and then park in the empty lot. And then like we put the bar furniture inside, and then my friend started a wine bar, and then like so this wine bar got really popular. And then since it's a car, we don't need to go through all the architecture regulations. And then like, we just basically put the car. We didn't do, we just put the plants. But then like this, also like this empty lot, like get really almost like work as a park. This is the inside view. And we had a pretty good wine selections too. And then, yeah, this is how we use. Again, sort of I don't know, we didn't even design architecture. We just basically parked one car, and then the place became like the park. So it's also like, the car is movable, of course. So it's basically like we can park anywhere, and then we just need to like change the influx or like water or electricity. It's very like infra free. Yeah, the project. And then so actually I was living in New York until like this March. I just moved back to Japan like recently. I mean, that's one reason is apparently like the COVID-19. And then like the sort of the scenery I like in New York is these outdoor staircases. I mean, usually like it's not really allowed to use it, but sometimes, people chill like this outside staircase. And also like it's very like, how to say, the outstanding feature of the New York scenery. And also, like the nowadays it's the perfect place for chilling with social distance, So we got an inspiration of like the New York staircase. And then so this is the sort of our new share house project, which is actually the where we park the car. So we basically finally we start to like design, and then we start to like construction. And then it'll be completed middle of November finally. So this is like the house for like almost like 15 people, 9 stories high. But the terraces are connected. So like it's kind of like the vertical park, and then like we see like we have like the stairs, like almost like New York stairs, and then like we are thinking to have like the the plants or even like the vineyard, things like that. And then the first floor it became restaurant, and second floor is office. So it's like, yeah, that's like our recent experiment. So I mean, sort of, I mean, of course, like we can learn like a lot from technology, but also like we can learn like from like historical or like the traditional example for like our future life. That's it. Thank you.